Hello there, YouTube family. On today's episode, I'm going to bring you two dashing, at least in my opinion, cauliflower recipes. I'm calling this episode Cauliflower Power. This is good for vegetarians. Not sure about vegan. You'll just have to kind of see what, there's a few ingredients that, you'd have to look for not like a non-dairy sort of thing. The first recipe comes from, I'm not paid by this person or anything, but I found a really nice Middle Eastern book. I love the flavors in the Middle East, hummus and tahini and roasted eggplant, and anyway, it's one of my favorites. And this book is really nice. It's called Feast in the Middle East by Blanche Araj Shaheen, another YouTuber. She doesn't even know I exist, but I just thought I'd tell you. This one is cauliflower steaks with tahini citrus sauce, and I'm going to kind of change it a little, not much. So you're going to need 1 head of cauliflower, and I assume that this is probably going to serve 2 to 3 people. I'll probably serve this alongside some brown rice, maybe some vegetables. So the first thing is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We need to get this baby roasted. I'm going to cut it up and roast it. So the only thing that we're going to actually put on this is just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, garlic powder, and if you're not familiar with this, it's called sumac. It's almost like a citrus. It's kind of it's a very unique Middle Eastern herb. So check it out if you can, sumac. A lot of people will put this in salads and on chicken, a lot of different things. Now this I just washed and cleaned the green off. I'm just going to try to cut it into the same shape steaks. Okay, and to this, I'm going to sprinkle it with sumac. Little garlic powder. I'm just going to transfer this over to my waxed. You either want to have wax paper or you want to have it sprayed. And then I'm just going to lightly drizzle it with olive oil. Want to kind of get it all coated. So I put the cauliflower in the oven, 400 degrees. It's going to take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. I'm just going to check it in about 20. You might have to flip it, maybe check it in about 10 to 12. You might want to flip it a little. You just want it to be brown. So in the meantime, I'm going to prepare the other ingredients. Now the recipe originally calls for pine nuts. I don't have any. So I'm going to substitute that with walnuts. And the one thing that you can do with nuts is brown them or toast them in the oven, and it really enhances the flavor. So since I have to brown some onions, kind of gets reduced down some onions, I'm going to go ahead and do the walnuts first. And that's about 1/4 cup of walnuts. And I'm just going to toast them, lightly toast them. This is going to be put on top of our steaks. Okay, once you can kind of smell the nuts, they're probably done enough. You just want them lightly toasted. And then just put those in a separate bowl. And now we're going to take about 1/2 cup of onion and reduce that down. So while the onion reduces down, we're going to go ahead and make the rest of the citrus sauce. Okay, so for the citrus sauce, I'm going to use the zest and juice of 1 orange and 1 lemon. So for the onions, you just want them to look like this. They're just slightly browned, and we're going to turn the heat off and set those aside. And then about 1 garlic clove and 3 tablespoons of tahini. Now this is just ground sesame seeds, and it makes wonderful dips and dressings. And if you're, again, if another ingredient, if you're not really familiar with it, you might do some experiments with salad dressing. It makes amazing salad dressing. And this is one of the ingredients in hummus. Most people have had hummus. So that's 3 tablespoons. And then I'm just gonna, you'll want to use your food processor or blender for this. I'm just going to blend this up a little. This is going to be a dressing to drizzle over the cauliflower. So while the cauliflower steaks are still going, I want to prepare the side. Now you could serve this with rice or any whole grain you like. I'm showing you how easy it is to make couscous. So you want equal parts. I have 1 cup of boiling steaming water. I just cooked it in the microwave till it looks like it's boiling. Then I'm going to put in 1 cup of, I have organic, just regular couscous. And you just pour it into the boiling water and then cover it with a towel. And then when I come back in a couple minutes, I'll use my fork, and it practically cooks itself. So I'll show you. Okay, so let's take a look at the couscous. It's only been in there for a couple minutes, and you just fluff it up with a fork. How beautiful is that couscous? Fluffy. Now you could also, instead of water, you could use broth, vegetable or chicken or beef. But I keep it simple with. It gives it a really nice flavor if you just use water. So there is our cauliflower steak. Looks like I'm going to get about 3 portions out of this. If I had a larger cauliflower, I might be able to get 4. So what you want to do is just put a little bit of that grilled onion on top, and it smells really amazing. And I'm using a total of 1/4 of a cup of feta. So just plan accordingly. Just try to make the 1/4 of a cup go 3 ways, or however many servings you get out of this. A little bit of the walnut. Again, the walnuts are going to have to go 3 ways, so just don't put them all in one. The last item is our citrus sauce. And it turned a little bit pink, which I think is pretty, because it has the blood orange instead of just regular orange. I'm just going to give a little helping of couscous. Okay, one last thing, a little salt and pepper. And if you like, you could go ahead and be careful, but you could drizzle a little more olive oil. And there you have a wonderful dinner, vegetarian style. I am so excited. This is going to be Asian sticky wings, but we're using cauliflower. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to 425. We're going to basically, the cauliflower is almost going to be like deep fried, but we're baking it. You'll need about 1.5 pounds of cauliflower. I have frozen. Frozen's fine. And so first we're going to make the batter, and then we're going to make the sauce. Okay, so for the batter part, we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup whole wheat flour, and about 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. We're going to whisk this up. This is our batter. See how it even looks like a batter? You could try air frying these. I wouldn't recommend it if you have a frozen. I've never tried that before, but certainly give it a try. The main thing is you're baking this at 425. So there's our batter. So now I'm going to throw in that 1.5 pounds of chunks of cauliflower. You want to just get it all the batter on the cauliflower. And I would not recommend using regular garlic because it will burn. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on you want to use a greased or parchment lined baking sheet. And you want to try to spread them out to where they're not touching. So I'm going to check this in about 10-15 minutes. While these are baking, we will go ahead and make our sauce. Okay, and now for the magical sauce. By the way, you want to go ahead and reserve some, you could toast these. If I have time, I will, but you want some sesame seeds, and another garnish is going to be green onion or scallion, spring onion. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of honey, and I'm going to go ahead and spray this so that the honey slides right out. And 3 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce. One tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. Regular is fine, but all I have is seasoned, so work with what you've got. Then for a little bit of heat, I'm going to use the sambolic olik. Not really sure how you'd pronounce that, but it's basically garlic and chili. That's only a teaspoon. Feel free to adjust for your own taste. And this soy sauce still has lots of sodium, so I'm just going to add some pepper. And then we also need ginger. You could use fresh ginger. I would just grate it so that it's really thin. I have some that's already made. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in. I have some that's already, these are very convenient and they do last in your fridge for a long time. So that is your wonderful glaze to put on there. And I'll probably serve this with a side of rice, and I think I still have some of my air fryer egg rolls. So we'll just make it a whole Asian sort of day. The oven. I let them go for about 20 minutes. I wanted them to be kind of crisp. It's almost like they've been deep fried, but of course they haven't. So now we're just going to put them in the sauce. But if you put them in when they're still warm, it's going to absorb the sauce a little bit more. And the main thing, you just want to make sure they all get coated. Oh yes. And I'm serving them alongside some brown rice. And don't forget, we've got to put a little bit of sesame and a little bit of green onion. Thank you for watching this cauliflower episode. I hope you look at cauliflower in a different way, not just as a side dish or not just on a veggie tray that you take to work or social event, but cauliflower can take the place of meat. I'm going to serve this with my air fryer Asian egg rolls that I made in the air fryer, the Instant Pot air fryer. I'll link the episode somewhere, here or here. Have some fun with your cooking, eat more vegetables, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.